Hi everybody, back again. Today we're going to be showing you how to strip really thick paint off this textured metal paneling. And already we started this about half an hour ago this has got lead and all sorts of yummy stuff. So I'll just quickly put some stripper on here and I'll take you through the procedure. So this is our stripper, and this is all thick lead on here now. The one on top wasn't, it blistered right up. Now, the guide talks about stripping what's on the surface first. So we put the stripper on, we're waiting for it to reach the surface, and then the red writing, it says keep the surface wet with the stripper, which we were, and then it says remove large blisters if they appear, which they certainly did, and then reapply stripper if needed, which it is. So what happens when this purple paint, when it just detached from the surface, it just pulls the paint away, and so any amount of strip you put on, you're just wasting product because it just can't reach the layers underneath. And so it's really important, if you are putting a stripper on, if you get bubbles, get rid of them. Now, over to the original. I've had a lot of people at shows very curious about this panel that we found at a demolition yard. And when you first look at it, we actually remember when I did this originally, this guy from Perth just did not believe that you could get it out of all these bits here. So he was a complete convert by the end of it all. And this white pasty stuff, you can see this yellowy, there's all your leads and stuff like that. And so it was quite amazing just how it all came out. But what we should do, what I did to try to make this more interesting for you is this half down here, I took off about 10 minutes before we went live, and the stripper's been working its way into there. So we got our copper brush, and you can see up top here how the stripper's absorbing in. It's not, even though it's so thin and it's on a surface like this, it's not all running straight off. So copper brush. So it's like a thick paste. Just look at that brush, it's just choking up. This stuff is amazing, no doubt highly toxic if you were to sand it and breathe it. This is a very safe way of removing this type of finish. Now, that's not going along too bad. I'll just put that aside for a minute and we'll put some more stripper on there. So it's obviously the paint that's in all the crevasses and things is what we're after. You can see up top here how it looks absorbed. There's some wet patches still, which is fine, but some of these parts here, it looks like it's fully absorbed. So we actually want to keep that wet. And so it's not that it's evaporating off, it's just going deeper into the paint. We make our stripper thin so that it absorbs. Never really understood thick gel strippers. People think because this is thin that it'll run everywhere, but if you apply it properly, if you keep it light coats, as it absorbs in, it becomes sticky. The next coat of stripper attaches to that. So it's ideal. You can do a lot of this sort of paneling you'll find on ceilings. You'll go into the big old pillars and you'll find the ceiling has got these pre-pressed panels that are all over the ceiling, and you wonder, okay, how am I ever going to get that off? And it's obviously a job and a half because it's above your head and it's way up high and all that, but if you have the right type of method, you can work your way through it. And this is above your head, you put on a light coat, it absorbs up, and then you just keep putting this stripper on as it does its thing. Always start with a sample to work out the method for your particular job. There are never two of them the same. Now, I was going to show you some of these items. I knew there's going to be a little bit of time to kill on this job. So, up top here we've got our cast aluminium. So any type of intricate casting, whether it be cast iron or aluminium like this, again, this is ideal for getting into all those nooks and crannies. And it just comes out really amazing. This covering here for the handle, again, ideal for getting into all those parts. So any intricate metal surfaces, this is ideal for. And even right in there's writing in there, I think. Now this doesn't promote rust, and it doesn't get rid of rust. What it does is it exposes the rust. If you're doing a surface where there's some rust hiding under the paint, then it'll expose it for your future work on it. So now this, put it into the hole there, that'll please Doriata when she finds there's no bag in there. Yep. These sort of jobs, if you leave it on a little longer, it'll reward you when you come to do the work. And you're not pushing hard, it's just letting the tips of the bristles do the work. While I'm doing this, if you know anybody worldwide who could be interested in this, got a project, if they want to get in touch with us, they can go to our, can we see over there, Arthur, the website, cooperstripclub.com. They can send photos, you can send them as well to us, and we can comment on your jobs and just show you what is needed. What we're trying to do is find projects that suit questions, so we can show you on the live streams. Yeah, this is coming along well. So what I'm going to do is give this what I call a bit of a pre-rinse and just find out if there's any more stuff in there to get. So this is our flusher. So I just want to, I've got a clean brush. So just spray and scrub at the same time. So there's a little bit left there, but it's pretty close. So I'll just... Normally we wouldn't flush until everything's off, but sometimes it's nice to give it a quick flush just to see what you've actually achieved. So now back up to... We'll see what this top piece is done here. This would have been a bit better with an extra, say, 5 minutes of soak time. nice job. There. Pretty amazing how it can get into all that. Now, what's this up to? Okay, so this is really showing you now how if you sort of rush it a bit, how you end up doing more work. Down here is as it should be, where before coming on air we'd taken off those top layers, we'd had the stripper on there for probably a good quarter of an hour on that lower layer, and so you saw how that came off. Up here, the stuff at the bottom, what we just really need now is to leave that for another 5-10 minutes, let it do its job, and then that'll all come out with the brush just like it did at the bottom. So unless you want to hang in, and we can just sort of hold it there and say nothing for 10 minutes after. Because this is it. What I can do, I can show you a bit of brush cleaning, but these best are like this. Is if you were to put this into a jar with some of our flusher in, and this all got clayed up, so put it in there overnight, let it all soften up, and then you get like a wire brush and comb this through it, and that'll clean out. But you can see just the vast amount of material there. This sort of soft clay stuff here, that's your lead. We'll roll that up, make some lead sinkers, and yeah, amazing amount of material there. How would you do that normally without ripping off all the tin and all that sort of thing? Close now. Mm-hmm. Okay, other than a couple of little thick bits in there, which you normally would just put a little bit more stripper on, let it do its thing. So I think we'll call that a day for this. That's all good as gold. A couple of little bits there, as you see, you can get that out easy enough with a bit more stripper. But I'll just rinse that off. So, if you just turned up at the end, over here to the right was the full-size panel. That's probably off a hallway somewhere, and you've got this really thick paint. You've got this purple stuff on top with all the lead, and that's been stripped through. And the thing with these thick paints is you've just got to let it soak, and you can see all those deep parts in there. And this will be with this extra time we've given this. You can see how that's just now behaving itself. But I'll finish that off later. So we'll be back tomorrow and find something else to show you. Any questions you have, anything you want to see, just drop us a line, put in the comments below, and we'll find something to sort it all out. So, see you tomorrow, and thanks for tuning in again. Cheers.